Welcome back. The University of Mount St. Vincent Center for Leadership will host its third annual Leadership Summit on November 8th. During this event, students will have the opportunity to meet some of the nation's top professionals, network and collaborate with peers, and learn how to effectively incorporate new leadership styles into their education. Andrew Curiel, the director of the Center for Leadership, joins me to discuss the event. Andrew, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be back.
Now, can you tell me a little bit more, or just give a better overview of the third annual Leadership Summit?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a full day of leadership development, not only for our current students at the Mount, but for industry professionals, administrators, staff, external partners, our co-advisory council. Think of it like a holistic conference that professionals usually go to, but for our students. With the focus, with our theme of always leading, always forward. We recently became a university in the beginning of 2024, and I wanted to take that theme and center it here with our Leadership Summit. And the always leading creates the opportunity for our students to see themselves as leaders, not only in the classroom, but outside in their jobs, internships, career development opportunities. And that's what the day is really going to be about. So it's going to be a long day, but really fulfilling, exciting day.
Now, what are some key topics that the leadership professionals at the summit will cover?
Our leadership professionals are going to be super wide and range different professions. So like, for example, we're going to have Alex Jean-Baptiste from City Investment Group talk about investment, but also the law and judicial industry. We're going to have Donna Wilson come in and talk about DEIB and talk about how to be a first-generation student going into corporate America. We're going to have a Lunch and Learn series where students are going to have opportunities to sit at different tables and how we talk about in the Bronx, like break bread with and learn about different professions as well. So it's going to be healthcare, business, psychology, entrepreneurship, so many different sectors for our students to take away from that day and then continue to move on forward.
Now, can you talk about the role high school students will play, at this event?
Huge. Again, Center for Leadership, when you look at that word, I see center being epicenter. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to direct that program. I was thinking, all right, if we're going to be in a college town, the Bronx, having all of these schools here, and we're the University of Mount St. Vincent, and be a prominent higher ed institution, let's invite our community. Let's invite our high schools that we have good relationships with, good partnerships, that most of them enroll at Mount St. Vincent. So we invited 6 different high schools, 2 specifically from the Bronx. One, Monsignor Scanlon, my alma mater, Cardinal Hayes right here on the Grand Concourse, Pelham Preparatory Academy, which we have an alum, Salesian High School, and then also Frederick Douglass Academy. So a bunch of different schools so that what I feel is with our students, if you can see it, you can be it. And if they can attend a college or university leadership summit, hopefully they could then think about enrolling or taking part in a lot of our other workshops and programs that we have throughout the year.
Now, can you tell me a little bit more about what it means to have a leadership style and, how they'll work on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So something that we incorporated at Mount St. Vincent and the Center for Leadership is dive, right? So since our mascot is the dolphin, I thought, all right, that could work together, dive. D is for discover. We want our freshmen to come in and just discover what leadership means to them, identifying it in their life, family, teams, clubs. And then when it comes to that sophomore year, that introspection, like looking inwards, what type of leader do you want to be that you've seen already? But also incorporating like getting involved on campus in our clubs, taking our leadership class, joining our National Society of Leadership and Success. And then eventually when it comes to that junior year, incorporating your vision, like what is your roadmap and how can the Mount support you on that journey to find that career and development opportunity. And then senior year is all about executing. How are we gonna, take the moment that you are here in August and by the time you graduate in May, you're ready for life. You're not only ready for it, but you're ready to embrace it as well. So identifying all of that throughout the 4 years is a journey, but we love walking alongside our students in that journey.
Now, with that, I'll say, how do you get children, because you're working with
100%.
a lot of young people to kind of make that commitment and try to think about their future when they'll be a young adult?
It's a very hard conversation and like trust and transition. And something I've been seeing is we have to lift our students. We can no longer just say like, it's okay to be mediocre. It's okay to not be ready yet. We have such great resources at the university, along with the Center for Leadership, to show our students different access and networks that they otherwise wouldn't have if they didn't attend the university. So for us, it's preparing them. It's acknowledging that, we understand your background, we understand your efforts, but we're here to lift you to the new network and access that you can have at this Leadership Summit. So, ranging with our colleagues, on the day of the summit is going to be First Generation College Celebration Day, and being a first-gen college graduate, we're looking at that week of like, how do we prepare our students for that week? So mock interviews, preparing your elevator pitch, having your resume ready, how to dress professional, all leading up so that once they walk into that space, they're not scared or nervous. They're ready and prepared.
I think that's amazing, and I love that it's happening, or it's available to children in the Bronx. Just because when we talk about education and opportunity, the Bronx is usually left out. So I think it's amazing that this is happening. With that, I want to talk about beyond the summit. What are some ways that the organization is going to continue to help these children?
It's huge. Every day is different at the Mount and the Center for Leadership. And what I love about it is we do so many different things based on what the students want and need. So for example, we do academic enrichment opportunities, giving students access to visit these different places that they otherwise wouldn't go, such as Morgan Stanley we've done in the past year, the National Basketball Association, JP Morgan, and even a Bronx native right here in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. We also have our leadership class, which we teach on Tuesday nights, 6 to 7. It's a Socratic seminar style class. We do leadership presentations throughout the summer to discover your why and your purpose. And then we also have the National Society of Leadership and Success, which is focused on creating that environment for students to look inward, to embrace what type of leader they are, and then to cultivate that on our campus with classes, clubs, extracurriculars. And then lastly, with our TEDx event, we do an annual TEDx event every January or spring semester for our students to learn from different leaders in different industries throughout the Bronx and New York City.
Now, what are the expectations for participants in terms of engagement and follow-up after the summit?
Yeah, it's going to be professional. It's going to be bring your resume, dress smart casual. It's going to be have your LinkedIn ready because you never know what that connection can be. And the way I'm talking about it with my students is you never know what connection, job, internship, relationship can come from this that can benefit you in the long run and ultimately change your life. So when we look at it, yeah, leadership is for everyone. There is no barrier to that. And the Center for Leadership, we're lowering those barriers ingrained with our mission at Mount St. Vincent to give everyone access and opportunity, from whether you're a freshman, unsure what leadership is to you, or you're a senior and you think you got it down packed, where this Center for Leadership Summit is going to be for everyone.
Now, I love that you mentioned LinkedIn because we
Huge.
know that young people are on social media, and people don't often think about social media being used as a tool to advance in your career. But can you quickly just talk about why that's important, especially for young people?
100%. I think presence is important. My mom has always told me that presence is important. That's why she showed up at every event. And I think when it comes to social media, if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. So when people are thinking about jobs, when people are thinking about internships, they're going to think about the people that they see on their feed and LinkedIn. And for our students, it's just encouraging them. There's a different way to communicate what you want to share there. Your achievements, your successes, the pitfalls, but the way you overachieve them. And it's different from Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and everything like that. So I think for our students, we're showing them authentically ourselves as leaders at the Mount, whether it may be administrators, faculty, staff. We're showing them what it looks like. Now we're going to show them like the industry professionals outside of Mount St. Vincent that are doing the game too, and how they can follow suit.
Well, Andrew, I want to thank you so much for joining us and kind of connecting with our community and the young people here in the Bronx on ways they can kind of advance in their education and their career. So thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you again for the opportunity.
The Leadership Summit will take place on Friday, November 8th. For more information, visit the Center for Leadership website that appears on the screen below, or follow them on Instagram at UMSVLeads. We've come to the end of our show today. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us and you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you miss any part of today's show, you can catch the recable cast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimum Channel 67 and Verizon Fios Channel 33, or watch anytime on the web at BronxNet.org. You can catch a brand new episode of Open with Darren Jaime on Wednesday and with Rena Valentine on Friday. I'm Kibin Alleyne, wishing you and yours safety and wellness now and always. See you next time.